Hello Greenup County, I'm Jeremy Perry.
And I'm Joseph Wright, and you're watching GCTV.
Today we'll get off and running with special guest Josh Sturgill, interviewed by the one and only Justin Poplin.
Now sit back, relax, and take it away, Justin.
Thank you, Joseph and Jeremy. I'm Justin Poplin with GCTV, and today in the studio we are pleased to have Mr. Sturgill, the new advisor and teacher for GCTV. It's a pleasure to have you, Mr. Sturgill.
Thanks for having me, Justin.
Now, with this being your first year serving with GCTV, do you foresee there being any changes to the program?
Definitely some changes. Mr. Collier, the previous teacher, set up an awesome program. It's going to be hard for us to emulate his shows, at least the quality at first. There's some definite challenges to starting a new program. One, this is the first year I've taught it, so I've had to kind of learn how to do some of the broadcasting stuff, definitely learn how to use the equipment, to be able to teach you all how to use the equipment, to set the equipment up. Now the video editing aspects I feel pretty comfortable with. It's just Mr. Collier had some really nice equipment, and it's taken us a little while to learn how to use everything.
Now, do you think there are going to be any challenges for us as a class?
There's challenges, definitely. The biggest challenge for us is that everybody wants us to be successful. So, we're putting a lot of internal challenges on ourselves. A lot of times, we'll record something and we'll go, no, that wasn't good enough. Let's record it again. Let's record it again. So, there's always those kind of internal challenges.
Absolutely. I know from being in your class and many other classes that there is a big learning curve to the equipment and the programs that we use. I know that we've spent many months, or not many months, but many weeks so far, working with the equipment and the programs, just trying to get a grasp for it.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with this? I know that you plan on using some clips that we already have for the news. Well, what are we going to do in the future?
In the future, that's where it's going to come down to me talking with some of the teachers, some of the coaches, some of the principals. For future news stories, I know a lot of people are going to want to have their clubs, their teams, their stories shared, and we just need to know about it, know what we need to film. But just, sending me a message isn't going to cut it out. We're going to have to, come up with a schedule. So it would be beneficial if teachers or coaches or administrators would email me a couple days in advance, so that way I can ask if we've got students that are available that night. So for instance, if Miss Wellman was having an FBLA meeting and she sent me an email maybe 3 days ahead of time, it would give me time to ask you all in class, hey, is anybody going to be available for Wednesday's meeting after school? It's we may have some people available, we may not. It's if we have people available, they'll set up the equipment, they'll record. But if they don't, I may have to email that instructor, that advisor, and say, hey, I don't have anybody available, but I do have some equipment that we can loan out. It's we've got tripods, we've got cell phone holders, we've got different types of things that they wouldn't have to be taught how to use. So it's just kind of a loaner program that we could start to be able to help them get their footage. Now, once we get the footage, we can definitely edit it in class and do the stories, but the recording might be hard, definitely with the students that are in GCTV. A lot of them are on sports teams or in clubs, have jobs after school, so if it's not something that we can record during the school day, it's going to be really hard to get that footage sometimes with the GCTV class.
Absolutely. Now, how would be the best way to get a hold of you about the techniques?
Probably the best way to get a hold of me is through email. So we'll throw my email address up on the screen behind us. It's just josh.sturgill@greenup.ky schools, not Joshua. So just look at the image behind us that we're going to throw up, josh.sturgill@greenup.ky schools.us.
And we'll also put that down in the description so that they can copy and paste it if they need.
Definitely.
Well, Mr. Sturgill, I think it's going to be a great year for GCTV. I think we're going to do a wonderful job. It's a pleasure having you in the studio. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Now on to Taylor Meadows with a story covering the wonderful Spirit Week we just had here on the farm.
Thanks, Joseph and Jeremy. This is Taylor Meadows with GCTV, and today I'm covering Spirit Week. Spirit Week consisted of 5 days of the week starting on Monday the 19th and lasted until Friday, September 23rd. We had several activities to do during school, and after school on Thursday, the 22nd, was the Spirit Night with a parade and many other fun activities for every age. All of it was free to get into, along with food and concessions available for purchase. For the week, we had hallway decorating contest along with the crowning of the homecoming queen at the game that Friday, the 23rd. Spirit Week is not only a thing for the high school, it is also a thing for the whole district.
Carrying right along, we now have Ella Howard and Elaina Boggs covering the multiple spectacular pep rallies that we have had here at GCHS.
Hey, I'm Ella Howard.
I'm Elaina Boggs, and welcome to the first episode of GCTV.
Today we will be covering pep rallies at GCHS.
Here's some clips.
They are a great way to show our sports teams supports and get them hyped up for their upcoming games.
We plan to have so many more amazing pep rallies this year.
And you can't have a pep rally like that without having a football game to carry all that Musketeer pride. Now on to Moresea and Emily French covering the football highlights from the recent football games.
Good afternoon, Musketeers. I'm Moresea.
And I'm Emily French, and today we'll be covering the GCHS football team.
The Greenup County football team has had an amazing season, going 6-2 this year under the head coach Zach Moore and the other amazing assistant coaches.
The past games, Greenup had 281 rushing yards and 64 passing yards, and their hard-fought win over Russell for the backyard trophy versus Raceland. They had 200 rushing yards and 122 passing yards.
Thanks, Emily. Now here are some clips of the Musketeers and their devoted fans.
boys have really fought hard this season.
And you can watch them take on the Ashland Tomcats at home on senior night this week.
Thanks for tuning in to the sports broadcast.
And we'll see you next time on GCTV.
Next, we have a lively bunch, led by Elijah Brown, assisted by Trey Klinger and Aaron Burgess, on an absolute dogfight that went down at the Powder Puff game. Now take it away, boys. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Thanks, Joseph and Jeremy. As they said, I'm Elijah.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Trey.
Today we will be showing our picks for the top 10 plays of the Powder Puff game. How do you guys feel about our #1 pick?
Yeah, well, I think the catch along with the peace celebration was definitely perfect for the best spot.
Yeah, I agree. There was really no competition.
I can also agree with that. It was a great play to wrap up the Powder Puff segment. Now back to you, Joseph and Jeremy.
Thank you for watching GCHS-TV.
And we'll see you next time.